Emily, I want to know, first of all, how you found out about this event, because I understand you saw it advertised in Beijing. Did the advertisements mention Jared Kushner by name or show his picture?
That's right. This is a publicly advertised event. So we saw this in a hotel elevator, a building elevator initially. And when we looked into it, we saw that it was advertised as a Kushner event featuring Jared's sister. And it did not specify which sister, although only one sister, which is Nicole, is publicly involved in the business. So we saw the Kushner name and thought, this is pretty interesting.
Did it specify as Jared Kushner's sister or just somebody, as just the sister's name?
It said Jared Kushner's sister, and in the stuff that we saw, although there may have been other promotional materials out there.
And just so I understand, it's for Chinese investors. These were people who, the Kushner company is looking to invest in some of their businesses?
It's called the EB-5, or Immigrant Investor Visa Program. So these are wealthy Chinese looking to invest in Kushner projects in return for a potential pathway to citizenship. So it's a legal visa class in the United States that allows individuals to invest $500,000 US into projects, and that opens up a pathway to citizenship for them.
So you were seated separately from your colleague. You were, then asked to leave?
I was asked to leave. I went out to the hallway to sort of try to negotiate. I said, this is a publicly advertised event. It's in the public interest. We really want to see what happens. My colleague was still inside recording, and then she was later asked to leave, and some of her footage and audio was deleted by the event organizers on the Chinese side.
They actually deleted her recordings?
That's right. Inexcusable, also rather common in China when people get nervous about the press.
So Jared Kushner's sister, did she mention the president or her brother at all?
So in the first part of Nicole's speech, which we did see, she started with a reference to her family. So she didn't connect this directly to the White House in that part of the speech, but this was presented as a Kushner family event. And at one point, according to someone else who was in the room, she did mention that her brother, who used to be in charge of Kushner companies, had now joined the administration.
Did she show a picture of her brother or a picture of the president?
When I was in the room, there was no picture of either man. I later heard from another reporter who tweeted a picture that there was indeed a picture of President Trump on a slide that said key decision makers during a discussion of the EB-5 visa rules. So while I was in the room, there was not, though it turns out that there was indeed a slide mentioning President Trump in some capacity.
I would imagine most of the people in that audience knew who Jared Kushner is, knew who the Kushner family was, and obviously his role in the White House.
Absolutely. These are Chinese investors that have a lot of money. They have, potentially up to $500,000 US to spare. And the person that we talked to after the event said that absolutely the Trump name is what was the draw, and it was also a source of concern. So the event generated a lot of interest on the Chinese side precisely because of the connection to Trump.